What is up, YouTube? This is Alucard AFK with another MTGO game with commentary. So you've been asking for more mono black decks before they rotate, and I will deliver. And one of my favorite mono black decks is the discard deck, and I have revised it just for you guys. Just before it rotates, we're gonna play a lot of stuff that's gonna be rotating out. So opening hand, we have a swamp. I've added more surgical extractions. I don't think I actually had any surgical extractions in this deck, which was a poor choice. I had it in my black-blue deck. And obviously with milling strategy, you probably have a lot more to choose from to use surgical extraction. I can choose a card in the graveyard other than a basic land card, and then search the owner's graveyard, hand, or library and exile it with the same name. So, total of 4 swamps in the open hand. I got a Despise, and yes, I have Despise, Duress, and Distress in this deck. There's more Distress than there is anything else, but since it is a discard deck, it has all the major 3 as Monomania. You guys have seen this deck before, so I really still have all my same discard decks, you know, cards, but I have added, I think, 3 surgical extractions in this deck. I was going to put more Liliana the Veil in here. She's really great with each player discards a card. I also have, I was playing one regular tower, which gives you no maximum hand size. And I had that in there just as a singleton, but I think I added maybe one more. And of course, Grizzleband is in this deck now, so along with some burial rights and some other things. So it's a mixture, but it still fits to the original discard deck. But I did revise it just especially for you guys. So the downsides of running one Liliana, even with ways to get her like the Belloc Tutor, which has always been in this deck, is if she gets, you know, mana leaked or something, I can't get her back. So. But she's an expensive card, so in online or in paper, so you never quite run more than one. But she is only a 3 converted mana cost, so opening play, we'll play a swamp and we'll do a Despise. And he just hits the field running. So he's got a Serra Angel. It's a 4/4 flying vigilance. Sigarda, Host of Herons, it's a 5/5 flying hexproof. Orland Ranger, Island, Forest, Mana Leak. And now I saw this Mana Leak here and I just forgot about it. You know, I saw it and thought, you know, as soon as I get a Distress or something, because Despise is limited, it only does a creature or planeswalker, but a Duress or a Distress would get rid of a Mana Leak. And I just thought, you know, as soon as I get that, I'll do that. But I didn't really think about stuff that I shouldn't be playing with a Mana Leak in his hand. So, and then he's got another Serra Angel. So we go ahead and get rid of Sigarda. There's a lot of discard deck cards in this deck, so I knew that I would be getting rid of most of this. So we got rid of the Sigarda, Host of Herons. He'll play a Forest. And I got rid of it even though, I mean, he would play a Serra Angel or something before he got this guy out. But once you get this guy out flying with Hexproof, it's pretty hard to counter. And, you know, unless you discard it like this, Black Sun Zenith works against it, of course, but there's only 2 in this deck, and we pulled the Black Sun Zenith, so. And originally, in the original discard deck, I was only running 1. I've upped it to 2. I find 2 runs really well in my black-blue control deck. So, and we pulled a Grizzlebrand. I debated for a while, since we do have Umbrella Rights on this, that if I should just go ahead and just, you know, do a discard ability on myself, get him into the graveyard, and then we could do Umbrella Rights. But I really only want to do that if I get Umbrella Rights. And even then, if it's late in game and you have enough to play him, you know, why go through the hassle of going through Umbrella Rights or discarding him, then Umbrella Rights? So it's something early on. If I can get Umbrella Rights, you know, at 5, then I don't have to go to 8. So we do Liliana. You know, like I said, dumb move because he has a mana leak and he has enough mana to play it. I just was not thinking here. So he mana leaks, of course. Leave it to not thinking, which is fine. We've got one in the deck, and it was an additional mechanic. So we'll play a Borderland Ranger, search his library for a basic land card, and I'll go ahead and do a surgical extraction on this mana leak here. And it turns out he only has one of them, which was surprising to me. But what he does have, since he's splashing white in here, really white's a major mechanic, is he's got 2 Oblivion Rings. Oh no, it's the old card art, so that's pretty sweet. So 2 Oblivion Rings, he's got 2 Vapor Snags, so he only had 1, and he's got Feed Hunter to exile cards. Yeah, he's only, oh, he's gonna negate, but he's only got 1 mana leak, so that was not the greatest surgical extraction, but we do have 3 in the deck, so. So I'll play a Swamp. And I actually cut down the land count in this, despite having Phyrexian Obliterators and Grizzlebrand and things like that require almost, you know, 4 straight black. I did reduce it from 23 to 21, I think. So, or 24 to 21. So he'll play a Ponder. He'll swing in with Borderland Ranger. And he'll play out a Skin Shifter. So it's a 1/1 for 2. You choose one until end of turn. Skin Shifter becomes a 4/4 Rhino and gains Trample, or until end of turn, Skin Shifter becomes a 2/2 Bird and gains Flying, or until turn, Skin Shifter becomes a 0/8 Plant. So he can become a you know, a major ground attacker for the 4/4 Rhino. He can become a 2/2 Bird in the air to block flyers, and then he can also become a 0/8 Plant to act as a defender. So I don't like that at all. And even though I only have 2 Black Sun Zeniths, I do have other removals. So we got a Phyrexian Obliterator, and rather than play the Phyrexian Obliterator out away, we'll just go ahead and do Black Sun Zenith for 2. Because if he transforms into something else, you know, it'll be harder to deal with. You know, he might do the 4/4 Rhino. We wouldn't be able to take him out at that point. So play a Stranglegrip Geist, so I should probably should have went ahead and taken the damage from his 4/4 Skin Shifter ability, because it's only 1 per turn, so then I would have been able to take Stranglegrip Geist out. I mean, he's Undying though, so I'm not afraid to do Undying. I'd rather do direct removal and then follow it up with a Black Sun Zenith and wipe the board and get rid of him at the same time, but we didn't get a single removal, so we'll go to 14. Got another Swamp, and geez, even with lowering the land count, we just draw into lands a lot. So we'll go ahead and play Phyrexian Obliterator. He'll be good on the ground, but he's got a lot of flyers, so a lot of powerful flyers. So I'll do a Think Twice. Draw that card. I'll do another Think Twice and draw another card, which is good for our discard abilities. So I play a Llanowar Elf. And he will not swing in. We got a Recollery Tower, so we have no maximum hand size. And that's great with Grizzlebrand. And so, in case you don't know, Grizzlebrand's mechanic, I mean, he is an 8 flying 7/7 with lifelink, but he has an ability, pay 7 life and draw 7 cards. You can use that ability. It's not, I mean, the way it's printed on the card, it almost looks like it's an ability that would just happen. but it is an ability that you can choose to activate when you want to. So you can actually swing in and get 7 life and then pay that 7 life back and draw 7 cards. It's not like, you know, you're gonna pay 7 life every time he comes out, or every turn or anything like that. So you can choose not to use it at all. But you would want to use it after you swing in for 7, so you get 7 life, and then you can pay that 7 life and draw 7 cards if you need to. And the nice thing about that is you can do that if you have enough health, if you have a way to get health back, like Elixir Mortality or other things like that, or something that says, you know, for every card you draw, you gain life, like the Vincer's Journal, which I need to add into this deck, actually. I was going to do it tonight, but I just didn't get around to it. And that's really powerful. So, and you have no maximum hand size, so I could do it twice and have 14 cards if I wanted to, but I have 14 life, so I will be using that ability one time. So we'll go ahead and swing in. He's not going to block us, because he does not want to sacrifice permanents at this point. So he'll go to 15, we're at 14. So play a Fiend Hunter. When Fiend Hunter enters the battlefield, you can exile another target creature. So he's going to exile Phyrexian Obliterator. And then when Fiend Hunter leaves the battlefield, return the exile card to the battlefield. So we get Phyrexian Obliterator back if we kill him. So if we kill Fiend Hunter, that is. So when we do a Black Sun Zenith and wipe the board, we'll get Phyrexian Obliterator back. So it's kind of like Phyrexian Obliterator is in storage right now. Not as powerful as Oblivion Ring, but he's got Oblivion Ring, so. So he attacked in with the Strangleroot Geist and the Llanowar. We go to 11. We got a Distress. Go ahead and play it. And so he has 2 Serra Angels, so we get rid of one of them. And he'll swing in again, with this time with Fiend Hunter in the mix, so we'll go to 7. So I'll put out a Serra Angel. 4/4 Serra Angel. And if you're keeping track of my lands, we only need 4 black for Grizzlebrand, and we need 4 colorless. So we have 2 blacks and 1 Red Guard Tower. So we only need 1 more land to put out Grizzlebrand. And we got it. So if we hadn't put that land out, we wouldn't have been able to play Grizzlebrand, and he wanted to swing in with 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he would have won the game there. So we got that swamp when we needed to. We'll go ahead and put Grizzlebrand out. Now obviously I don't want to pay 7 life and draw 7 cards at this moment. I only have 7. So the object is either to swing in, which we don't want to do at this point. So we want to block. And we want to block, and when we block, we'll also get life, and then we'll probably be able to do draw cards. Even though I could have, like, it lets you use that ability, so it would have been kind of funny, you know, at that point to just kill ourselves and draw 7 cards. So play Avacyn, Angel of Hope, which, you know, with the stuff he's got on the field, this is just like, you know, salt in the wounds. Flying, Vigilance, Avacyn, Angel of Hope, and other permanents you control are indestructible. What that means, though, is that they just can't die. That doesn't mean that if they attack with a 4/4, you know, that Grizzlebrand's going to die or anything. I mean, that damage is only going to be 4 against 7. But what it does mean is that Lifelink is going to activate, so they're all indestructible now, but Avacyn herself can't attack, so he'll swing in with Strangleroot Geist, Llanowar Elves, Fiend Hunter, and Serra Angel. So he'll have 2, 3, 4, and we'll chump block essentially. Not really a chump block, but we'll completely block Serra Angel. So that gives us 10 health, and We got a Mental Agony. Target player discards 2 cards and loses 2 life. Keep thinking about Mental Agony, because what we're about to do is save our butt. So we're going to do Grizzlebrand. We're going to pay 7 life and draw 7 cards. I realize that puts us down to 10, but Avacyn's fixing to be on board, and so even if we blocked, you know, Avacyn herself, all these things are going to take us out. So we need to get some cards. We need to get some removal cards. So we paid 7 life, and now we're down to 3 health, which is crazy. Scary doing this, but what we drew was 3 swamps, a surgical extraction, 2 Black Sun Zeniths, and a Vampire Nighthawk. So if you wanted to get a hand that would save your butt, this would be it. So apply one of the swamps. And we'll do a Black Sun Zenith for 7. So that's going to destroy everything, put Avacyn and Angel of Hope at 1. So that got rid of Fiend Hunter, so Phyrexian Obliterator will be coming back to our field. The Strangleroot Geist is undying, so he's coming back. And then when Fiend Hunter leaves the battlefield, we already know that we're getting Phyrexian Obliterator back. So what he ends up with is a 3/2 indestructible Strangleroot Geist and a Angel of Hope that is a 1/1. And we get Phyrexian Obliterator back on the field. And all his lands are indestructible. I think that's funny. So he'll swing in over the top of Phyrexian Obliterator's head with Angel of Hope. And we'll go to 2. Bring out an Emancipation Angel. When Emancipation enters the battlefield, return a permanent you control to its owner's hand. So he's going to bring Avacyn Angel of Hope back to his hand. He's not to the battlefield, so he's just going to go back to his hand. And so now Emancipation Angel is just a 3/3, not indestructible, and Strangleroot Geist. And he did that so he could get Angel of Hope back out as a 5/5 again. So that's the card right there, sitting in his hand is Avacyn Angel of Hope. Do you remember the Mental Agony that we were talking about? I said keep in mind. So we drew a Entombment Arc. So I'll put out a Vampire Nighthawk. And I really need Vampire Nighthawk to block Emancipation Angel, because by herself she could kill us. So we only have 2 health. So I needed to get him out. That's definitely one thing we have to do. Phyrexian Obliterator can block Strangleroot Geist. He already has a plus counter on him. So we can block him on the ground. And because I was debating doing a Black Sun Zenith, but I need to keep Phyrexian Obliterator out there. He's at 15 health. And so we still have a Mental Agony here. But we go ahead and do a Surgical Extraction. And this also verifies to me that Avacyn Angel of Hope is in his hand. I mean, we knew the mechanic, but it's just good to verify. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose Fiend Hunter. I could have chose, you know, the Sarah Angel, but Fiend Hunter is more powerful at this point, so we go ahead and exile a couple of those. So we won't swing in, and at our end step, we'll do a Mental Agony. And then Avacyn Angel of Hope will go into his graveyard. That win condition is gone. So essentially we have enough to block. Rather, he has Vapor Snag and Oblivion Ring in his library. He does not have it in his deck, hopefully. So it's something almost just as bad, that Deadeye Navigator. As long as Deadeye Navigator is paired with another creature, each of those creatures has For one colorless and one blue, exile this creature, then return it to the battlefield under your control. And he's a 5/5. Luckily, he's not flying. But although Vampire Nighthawk can deal with anything with Death Touch, so. And we got another Phyrexian Obliterator. Yay! But you know what? We're going to go ahead and clear the board with Black Sun Zenith for 5. So what he did was he exiled Deadeye Navigator, and we got rid of everything. We got rid of our Phyrexian Obliterator and our Nighthawk, but we do have Unburial Rites in the deck. We don't have it in our hand, but we do have another Phyrexian Obliterator, and we also have a couple other things that can remove or bring something back from the graveyard to our hand, not necessarily the battlefield like Unburial Rites can, but we'll go ahead and do Entomber Arc, and that's one of those abilities. Now I can do two things with Entomber Arc. I can return target creature from our graveyard to our hand, which I definitely was wanting to do, or target opponent reveals as their hand, you choose a non-land card from it, then that player discards that card. I'll go ahead and get it Phyrexian Obliterator back. So, fortunately, Deadeye Navigator is kind of pointless when it goes against a Phyrexian Obliterator, so. So we'll put out a Phyrexian Obliterator, and we need something to block flying, so we'll put out a Sangromancer instead of another Phyrexian Obliterator. And if he does a Day Judgment or something, we'll still have one Obliterator left. So you won't swing in. Got a Swamp. And we just go for it. Probably should have held it back. But what I wanted to do here is I wanted to swing in with Phyrexian Obliterator, but I also wanted to be able to block Deadeye Navigator, because he's not going to block it. So he would have been able to swing in with Deadeye Navigator next turn and kill us, because we still only have 2 life. So we needed an attacker and a blocker. So we'll swing in with Sangromancer and Phyrexian Obliterator. He'll go to 5. And he'll go ahead and concede the game. Evidently, those 2 cards weren't a removal spell or any mass removals. We just happened to do Grizzlebrand and get 7 cards. That really helped us out. So that's another reason I like control decks. But if you know me, most of my control decks have big baddies. So just not a lot of them. So it's still a control deck. It has a lot more control spells than it does anything else. 4 Phyrexian Obliterators isn't enough to classify a creature deck or anything like that. So comment, like, and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this mono black game. It was requested, so enjoy, and we'll see you later, guys. Bye.